Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times and
shenanigans.
If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the party. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses. Those that are physical as well as the mental and emotional.
Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
Yeah. Cry a lot.
Anyways, if this is your first time, welcome. Hi, how are you doing? You can find us on YouTube. Yes. You can find us on most podcast platforms. That. And then you can also join us on our Discord, where we do our live streams on Saturdays and Fridays, and just hang out and chat.
Facts. Whoop, whoop. All right, with that, let's begin the party. Today we have a really interesting topic.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Excited to get into it because I think it's pertinent and it encompasses a lot of stuff that I'm like, I can draw all the connections. Look at my board. You're welcome.
You stole my board.
Love you. I was paying homage to your board,
I
okay?
I appreciate
all right,
the shout out.
With that, it is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed.
I'll go first because you don't remember your week. I could tell you about her week, but she'd be mad if I told you about her week.
He's gonna.
No, I'm gonna talk about my week. When did we record last? I know we recorded Wednesday, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Was it Saturday?
Before, yeah.
No, because we had game night. Sunday. It had to be Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sunday or Monday.
So in the last week, what was Monday? Monday was a nothing day.
Oh, no, it was... Was it Wednesday? Because I was already... No, it wasn't. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'd say Wednesday happened, but it was not this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have to do that real quick.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You want to tell them about the things? So... If you are already familiar with Chaos and Conversations, which is our little offshoot where we just have ADHD sibling time, we are actually going to merge the channels.
We have merged the
channels. So you guys will be getting Chaos and Conversations and then Fantastic Pains. And we're going to work out the upload schedule. But for now, the plan is to give you 1 week and then the other. So
right. It helps us delineate the two. It makes the Fantastic Pains a lot more easy. In a way, because we can be serious and really deep dive a subject, because we've gotten rid of all the ADHD stuff in the Chaos and Conversations. Yeah. But the Chaos and Conversation stuff is funny. So
yes, well, and it's also something that we really enjoy and I think is really good for us.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, that was true of Fantastic Pains.
Yes.
So
the whole thing. Really.
Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't upset anybody. I don't think it will. You'll
just have to hang out over here, and you'll be getting your episodes. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's all here now.
Yes.
I was just more worried about the Fantastic Pains people revolting, going, no, we don't like Chaos and Conversations.
They don't like us. They hate our faces. And
Chaos and Conversations, it's for losers.
They love it, and we know it. It's fine.
It's fine. So that's what I did with my week. I merged the channels. I had to upload and re-edit and upload, and then Jen's helping me. We're doing some branding reworks. I haven't told you about that yet. Just like making a new banner that has both.
Oh yeah, okay.
Both icons with like a slash, so it looks like this.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Fun.
So like it'll be 1 in 1.
I like that.
But it'll just be Fantastic Pains is the title.
Yeah.
Of the channel. But yeah, that's what I did. We recorded on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of energy out. That was fun.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
We were so tired, and then we came in here and just went crazy. And it was good.
We did dinner, and then we were like.
Yeah.
Let's go record, I guess. I'm already wearing my makeup.
Let's do it. Let's go. And we did. It was great.
It was fun.
And it was just like an ick week.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we've had a lot of like crazy weather.
A lot of storm in the afternoon.
Tons of storms. And then we had those like 2 days where it was just raining all day.
Which wasn't as bad though.
Right, because the pressure's not changing midday.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
It's just like you feel ick from the start of the day, and so it's fine.
Yeah, I'll take background ick over like up and down and up and down.
The up and down is what kills me.
Yeah. What else? We did our live streams, which were really good. Yeah. We got our first troll. That was fun. Moving up in life. We had to
put someone in timeout. That was so fun.
It just makes me have to do more work that I should have done earlier that I forgot.
It's fine.
I know, but it's annoying. It annoyed me. And yeah, I kind of just spent the week coping.
Yeah.
Working on the merge and coping.
My week was a lot because it's teacher work week, and it was just like it's like trying to like take a sip from a fire hose.
Yeah.
You're just being like inundated with so much information. All at once, all the time, and then you're like, I'm exhausted, and I also don't feel like I got anything done.
Yeah.
And so it's just been kind of chaotic. But I'm really happy at my new place, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And hopeful. And I really love my roommate. I got to meet my roommate. And I found out that like half of my team are people that either went to Smokey and new friends of mine,
Mm-hmm.
or were people we went to high school with.
Oh, wow.
Who are we're in our same grade.
Right.
So that was really funny. And actually my room partner went to school with us too.
That's cool.
We didn't know each other, but I was like, these people look so familiar.
Right.
And it turns out that a lot of them
That's
we
cool.
went to school with.
I appreciate that.
Tiny world. Really cool. But yeah, so that's been really insane.
What happened Thursday?
Was it Thursday?
Yes.
I fell down the stairs
I didn't.
at my house.
I haven't fallen down the stairs in a minute.
It was really cool. I didn't really like it.
No, that was BS.
Yeah, and then I used my cane because I dislocated my hip. And that was confusing for all the people who don't know me.
Yeah.
They're like, cane one day and then not the other. Like, what the heck is that all
Right.
about?
Well, because you must have injured
You
yourself
weirdo.
previously.
And I'm like, no, we put it back and it's fine now. Like, it's not fine, but it's fine.
Right.
And also, and I told my room partner, I was like, honestly, I hate using mobility aids. I use them to like remind me to go easy right after I've injured myself, but it's a pain in the butt. So if I don't have to use them, I'm not gonna use them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just been crazy. Nothing like drastic though.
Would you say that you are appreciative of your new job?
I am.
So you would say that you're grateful.
Yeah, I'm feeling really, really grateful for the situation that I'm in and for everything that kind of led up to it, which is different.
Yeah.
Because everything that led up to it was really uncomfy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like we know things turn out okay,
Mm-hmm.
because everything changes. Nothing is stagnant ever. And if we are just like rolling with the punches, it's much easier to get through.
She missed my total segue there.
We are segueing. I'm in
She
the middle
missed
of
it. She ruined it.
I'm in the middle of it.
She ruined it by
currently.
calling it out. She fourth walled it into out existence. Not me. What are we doing? What's our topic?
Yes, we're talking about gratitude.
Hey, context
talking about-
clues. Did you
yes.
figure it out before they did?
Well, I told them what it was at the beginning of the episode. But,
No, they didn't.
Ooh.
You're dumb. You weren't listening. Why aren't you paying attention?
Well, and it's funny because we set up this topic like an hour ago in the live, and Doggo actually contributed a big portion of it that I really liked, which was giving and receiving.
Hashtag join the Discord.
Facts.
That's
please
if
do.
you want to help us with topics and share experiences, or need help, or want to talk to people, and
or you want us to talk about something.
yeah, or just want to talk to us in general. I mean, Discord.
Facts.
We talk
Please
to
do.
everybody.
It's great.
We're active.
Really cool community. But yeah, no, I really liked the idea of like going through giving and receiving gratitude, because
Props to Doggo.
it's
like
a
you
really it's something that we kind of overlook in society because everything's so fast paced. We don't give ourselves a lot of time to sit and reflect and be thankful for the things that are going well and the things that are okay in our world and the things that keep us like able to cope. Right?
I'm really good at gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when it happened though, because I used to be really shy and would not express that ever.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, because
like-
it's a vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how it can feel.
I guess like from 30 and on.
Yeah.
Like at 30, I became okay with myself.
Mhm.
In that
Right?
year,
Isn't that interesting? Like
I was like, I'm a person. I like this person.
Yeah.
And then I didn't care so much about. I was like, I'm just gonna be me. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But yeah. So I'm trying to think. There was like a month or two where I was letting everybody know how happy I was to know them, and
yeah.
you know, like when you get random
Yeah,
messages
yeah.
from people, it's like I was doing that
Yes.
left and right.
Well, and I'm in the same boat kind of, because it was uncomfortable, right? It was
Mhm.
always like this vulnerability, and it was something that was expected of you, and like there were social norms in place, and it
Mhm.
was stressful and weird. But then there came a point where it was like our explicit communication style really fell into place, and that's when, for me at least, it's a lot of like, I'm gonna thank everybody for everything, regardless of how mundane it might be.
I
Like,
just had a weird epiphany
yeah,
that
share.
part of the explicit communication piece
Mm-hmm.
is screw social norms. Do what you're gonna do, and be clear about it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not.
Because social norms are, there's all these like songs and dances programmed into the social norms that are so unnecessary and confusing and stressful, especially if you are neurodivergent and your brain is like, let's be straightforward. And it can feel threatening to be straightforward because there are all these like underlying rules that people are picking up on and being like, well, are you being fake? Like, is this fake? Is this fake? Is this fake? But when you stop caring whether people perceive you as being fake, then it gets easier to just communicate and be who you are. And you don't have to mask as much. And you can trust that either people are going to like you or they're not.
Right.
And that's true of everything.
Right. I'm sorry. I know that was like a tangent.
No, I like it though. Like it makes sense.
It's part of it. Because if you're holding yourself back, you can't express anything. And if you're being explicit, you have to be explicit.
Well, and I feel like we lose a lot of the like sincerity in the social conventions.
Yeah.
Because there's all these scripts in place.
Right. You're just picking, it's like a dating simulator where you pick like one of 4 options.
Yeah.
And you're like, this one's going to be the happy. This one's going to, you know what I mean? Instead of just being yourself and saying what you feel and think.
Right. Exactly.
But
yeah.
As far as that goes with being grateful. What was our first line of defense?
So
against being grateful.
Against being grateful.
No.
Be upset about everything.
Being grateful.
For being grateful. So there's a lot of science that says that gratitude can not only help with anxiety and depression, but it also improves the quality of your sleep.
Which makes sense because if you're unburdening yourself by expressing things and not holding things in.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like gratitude gives us a different kind of peace that we can't achieve.
I feel like there's also got to be like a dopamine or something that gets released when you.
Well, there is because when
and cortisol drop.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Especially when you are talking to someone and you're expressing gratitude, it's strengthening your social bonds in general. So it's strengthening those relationships by reinforcing the way that you feel about the other person and what they do for you and what you do for them. Like the other day, like just looking down and being like, oh, my husband filled the dog water. Thank you for doing that whenever you did that. I appreciate it because I forgot to do it. So like just little things.
Yeah.
Embrace the little things. Sorry. Ugh. I got my hair pulled. My bad. I'm back. It's
I just zoned out and started shaking my head at the camera like, no, this is not happening.
But it's a practice, right? Like it's not an all at once thing. And it's also one of those things where like you need to be using it in different contexts. Right. So gratitude with people is one way, but then gratitude for your life or for the things that you have or for the privileges that you have and really truly like putting those into perspective.
Yeah.
That's a different way of practicing that. And I feel like that builds in that mindfulness too.
Yeah. I'm trying to work in this idea that we have. We're the big thing that came out of the live was the book idea.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. So do you want to give the backstory?
I don't,
because it's great.
I don't remember how we got. Oh, I do. Yeah. Someone said it, right? You said,
I said it.
You said it, and then Kaylee said that'd be a great book title, and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a great book. So
it started because we were talking about we were reading children's books at work, and I was like, what is this? What is like? You could write whatever the heck you want, and be totally successful. We should start doing this. And then Dweeb or Kaylee was showing us the new zine and her like illustration, and we were like, you should illustrate books. And then I was like, what's it like to be God's favorite? And then that became the book that we're writing now.
So the idea behind it is that you have a character who is not grateful for existence.
Yep.
He's just always concerned about what other people have and what he doesn't have.
Yeah.
And so he walks around asking himself, or seeing people and asking like
what's it like to be God's
so it's
favorite?
like, oh, there's Janet. She has a loving husband and 2 kids. She doesn't even have to work. What's it like to be God's favorite? But he asks, or they hear him or notice, and then they're like, my husband's cheating on me. My kids are failing their classes, and I haven't slept in a week.
don't know if we're going that direction or if we're going the
no, we're going what he has
what he
instead.
has direction.
Yeah,
So, but it's really funny because
like
we've been playing
the
with
dark
this
one.
idea because the dark one is funny.
Yeah.
But dark. But yes, so there's this idea that we're gonna put out a children's book one day, and Kaylee's gonna illustrate it.
I'm
for
serious
us.
about it.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This
So
is a
instead
great
of him
idea.
being bemoaned, they're expressing things that he should be grateful for, but he's not able to hear it or wanting to hear it until the end, and then he comes to and realizes his life isn't that bad by comparison.
And he has a
he
lot of
doesn't
things
need
to
to
be
measure
grateful
himself
for.
on other people's successes.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
It's
But
gonna be cute.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's so funny. But I don't know. Like, there's a lot of power in it that we don't, it's not obvious
No.
at all.
That's
And it's a practice. It's not.
yeah. It's one of those. It's the same thing as like when you're training yourself to have good self-talk.
Yes.
So it's like work on self-talk, and then once you've mastered self-talk, master what would it be like introspective, overt communication.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're like, I need to improve the way I interact with people.
Yeah.
Letting them know how I feel because they don't know.
Right.
You have to realize that and practice that and be like, thank you for something little you did, like you said earlier. Or thank you that you did this. Or I appreciate you being in my life.
Right. I love and appreciate you, and I'm glad that we're friends.
Yeah.
Like that. Because it's powerful to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And it means a lot to the people that we're able to express that to, because it's not often expressed in such like plain terms. It's always like inferred. Well, they know how I feel about them because or whatever it is.
Yeah, because you're making an assumption, right?
Right.
And then you find out that they don't feel that way about you. But
that's a whole other story.
That's when things go wrong. But
sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm dying. Allergies are killing me this week
Mm-hmm.
because of all the rain.
So there was
So
setting the habit.
Like the
like
training and the practice, right?
Yeah.
Like really building it in. I think there's also a piece to be said about being grateful to yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just like for myself, right? Like it's not like, oh, tell me one thing that you like about yourself. Oh, I'm good at blah, blah, blah. No, being grateful for, because the only way that I can kind of make this make sense is through the modeling of it, right? Like I'm grateful for the things that I have gone through because they made me who I am.
Right.
I'm grateful for the work that I had to do to rebuild because I was able to become a more fulfilled, happy, and balanced person.
That's interesting because I've never thought about that as gratitude, but I've always been like, I would never change anything about me because I like who I am.
Yeah.
But I never thought about that as being self-gracious.
Right.
Like being grateful that I am who I am.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, and I feel
like
that a lot because especially through all of the work and like saying goodbye to my therapist was a big moment for that gratitude, to be able to say like, I know we've had our ups and downs, but I really appreciate that you were able to push me to do the work and push me into being uncomfortable and working through that and expressing things, because now I can do all of these things that I don't think I could have done prior to the work that we had to do together. Right. So yeah, it's a weird thing to be grateful for the things that made you go to therapy for. Like, I'm so grateful that I was so broken I had to go to therapy.
It borderlines that thing Bappa was talking about where therapists hear what you're saying and they say, stop. Like, I was depressed on the way to work. Stop it. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, I'm grateful that this happened. But it's not that. It's not that. Don't do the other thing.
Stop it. No.
Do the being grateful thing.
Do it. I love that. Just hearing your therapist in your head.
Yeah. Stop it.
No.
Okay. I'll stop.
I also feel like there's something to be said about like like you were saying, the dopamine of it, because there's this emotional opening up that happens where it's like relaxing, right? Like instead of being so emotionally guarded and like tense, you can let that go and then emotionally relax and you can feel everything kind of coming down, which is excellent because there's a lot of things to be worried about, but there's also a lot of things to be grateful for.
Right. Anything that will reduce your cortisol and increase your dopamine is a do. Must do.
Right. Well, and if you are chronically ill, cortisol is
yeah, keeping that in balance is huge.
Keep that down.
Dude, my cortisol levels when I first went to see my first doctor was so
insane.
bad.
Oh, I bet.
So bad. She was like about to put me on like beta blockers, like to keep my heart from exploding from being so stressed out.
Mm-hmm. It's not good.
No.
It's not a good thing to live in that stress. So we got to find ways to keep ourselves okay. And I think part of that is like reinforcing the things we're grateful for.
Yeah.
Right? Like really cherishing them and working with them, and not...
It's a mindfulness exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
Being mindful of what's going on, what you have, the positives,
and mindful of
appreciating
opportunities for
Yeah.
that gratitude.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's huge. It's crazy, the power of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just baffles me. Like, it's
blown
such
away.
a small thing, but it really, really makes a difference.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does.
And we hear that all the time where it's like, well, have you tried being grateful? And you're like, shut up. I'm stressed out.
No, that one's not the
No.
one. It's the when people are grateful to us. Like, you guys, well, I've had this podcast and we love it. And
Yeah.
it's helped me. And I'm like, ugh.
Well, that was the other one. Was like, this week has been an outpouring
All of her
from
students,
my children.
they're all like, bro, you were the best.
And I'm like,
XO. And she's like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
good job.
And I'm like, I can't. Well, and I think it's part of that, like, when we decided not to, like, we decided we were going to work on taking compliments
Mhm.
in a more graceful
Yeah.
way. That I think is an exercise of gratitude as well.
Mhm.
Because it's that, like, I'm acknowledging your viewpoint of me.
Right. I'm not
without
denying it.
arguing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not shutting someone down for having feelings, which is what we were doing before.
Right.
Where
Where
we
it's
were
like,
no,
I'm
that's
terrible.
not true about me.
I'm actually bad, and I've
Wasn't that
fooled
another
you.
doggo observation?
Which part?
Denying compliments when you
Yeah, I think it might
when
have been.
when you go, no, I'm not that. You're arguing with them and saying that their point of view is wrong.
I think it was.
I'm pretty sure doggo.
Doggo, you are a wise man.
Get.
We appreciate you, by the way.
We're grateful.
We're grateful for you.
Seriously,
And grateful for the opportunity to get to hang out with you this summer. That was really cool.
that was fun.
It was a lot.
We paid for it, but it was fun.
Yeah. It was like a week of recovery, but it was worth it. But that's the thing, is like, accepting gratitude is a whole other practice.
Yes.
Because that can feel, I don't know. For me, it was always like, don't put me anywhere near a pedestal,
Mm-hmm.
because I am a broken human being.
Mm-hmm.
And your opinion of me must be skewed because you don't understand how messed up I am or how bad I must be because I feel that way.
Yeah.
And therefore I have fooled you. You poor naive soul.
With such a pretentious outlook that you
Right.
think you're good enough to deceive
Right.
somebody to that point.
Yeah. Well, but don't imagine, we know for a fact, like, putting into perspective the trauma of it and
Mhm.
growing up in a situation where you were accused of seeking attention. You were accused of making everything
I was
about
gonna say,
you.
for me, it's attention.
You were accused of, like,
Anything that draws attention to
being
me.
self-important. Yeah.
That was
All
one of the
those
biggest
things.
struggles with the podcast, really.
Yes.
Has been to be like, I can handle this. I'm allowed to do this. I'm not like a
I'm not going to
narcissist
get in
because
trouble. Nobody's going to think
right. No,
badly
people don't
of
watch it
me.
and go, "Oh, they're attention seeking."
Right.
Because that's not how we're approaching it.
Right.
I mean, people would be able to tell, I think, if we were like
Mhm.
clout chasing, like, bro, hit the like button, subscribe. Also,
I'll put my leg over my head and do
at 10K
a
likes,
handstand.
she'll do that.
So dumb.
At 25K, I shoot a pig out of a cannon.
Out of a cannon. Oh my god. Mine went so
dead
much
pig.
further than
A
yours
dead
and
pig.
Jesus's.
A dead pig.
His name was Fred, Father.
We were going to make tea.
I love it. So great. But why does it matter? Why does it matter to, like, accept that gratitude? Both in relationships and within yourself.
Well, yeah, in relationships is important because, again, people don't normally think about it, but by accepting their compliment, you're saying, yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate your point of view. I accept it.
Mhm.
And then it strengthens the bond.
Right.
Whereas, like, what was the other one? You gave me two options just now, and I literally lost the other one.
Like within yourself.
Within yourself is self-acceptance.
Yes.
That helps a lot with
Right.
self-talk and the way you perceive yourself.
Yes. Well, and it was, what did I say when we first started talking about, like, accepting other people's viewpoints? It was like the same thing as when if 3 people in a party tell you
Yes.
you're drunk, you probably shouldn't drive.
It's the
right?
same thing though. If 4 people, if you have 10, if there are 1,000 people and 5 of them say you're cool, you're 5.
You're
No, you're. I was gonna say 5%, which is
You're
not
5.
the math. 50% cool. Yeah, you'd be 50% cool. 1,000 people, no, it would be less
5
than that.
of them.
0.5.
I was like, what? And
0.5% cool. You're cool.
good Lord.
Just know that you're
I don't
cool.
know
There's
what
2
is
of us here. We
happening
both
here.
think you're cool.
I think you're
and you're
cool.
cool.
We like you.
No, but if you get told that more than once, really, in my book, if I hear
Right.
it twice, that's enough for me to go, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like that is observed in more than one environment.
Unless it's certain people.
Yeah.
The people that
People you
are
don't
closest
trust.
to me. No. People
Oh, really?
closest to me, no. Doesn't count because you're just saying that because you love me.
Oh.
Right? There's the bias. I'm like, I can't listen to your opinion. You're not a stranger. You're not judging me as
That's
harshly.
funny. Okay. Oh, he's over there celebrating.
See?
I thought he was relating
Am
to
I
what
wrong?
you said. He's not. He's having Pokemon fun. He has nothing
What
to
is it?
do with what we're doing.
Shiny.
A
What's
shiny.
the rate? What's the
It's an 8, 10, 15. So not great.
No, but it's shiny.
123 raids.
Boy did 123 fights in Pokemon Go to get 1 shiny.
Wow.
Anyways.
Okay, so I get that to a certain extent, but then there's the like caveat of like
Before
you
we-
know me best.
Before we do that, I was going to explain why that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's blocking people off.
Right.
That's excluding their opinion of you
Yes.
because you assume something about them is false, right?
Yes.
So that's not being grateful.
No.
That's
Being
shutting.
suspicious.
No, it is. I know you're not approaching it that way,
Mhm.
but you're.
But it is.
You're
It's
assuming
a reinforcement of your own inability to trust.
right.
as a
If you
whole.
can learn to accept that from your loved ones, then
Yeah.
you can accept it from anybody.
Right.
Because I honestly, it's easier to hear it from someone I don't know. Like
It is because it's an observation, right?
Right.
And you're like, okay, you perceive with your like you are observing this about me,
Mhm.
and it's data without emotion, which
Right.
I get. I
Right.
get that.
It's like a logical thing versus
Yeah.
an emotional thing, right?
Right.
So you have to learn how to just accept that maybe it's true.
Right.
Like I struggled with that with Jen for a long time. I was like, anytime she said anything nice about me, I was like, you're just supposed to say that. Like,
Oh.
you don't have to. It's fine. I know I'm not good.
No.
Like, and literally,
get
we would
that
have
though, yeah.
conversations about it, and she would get so frustrated because
Oh, I'd be frustrated.
she's
too.
autistic and
Mhm.
she
She's like, I said what I
You
meant,
can't-
and I meant what I said.
exactly you can't
God.
rebuff fact.
Yeah.
Because she's not feeling the emotion, she's stating the fact of what
Yeah.
it is in her head,
Yes.
and I'm coming at it
It
completely
is
emotional.
a state of being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a mess in the
That
beginning.
makes sense.
Well, in the middle
In the middle.
of the relationship, because that's like we were together long enough for her opinion to
Mhm.
be biased, but not long enough for me to go, stop rebuffing your wife. She loves you and you're this.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense. Well, that's the thing is like understanding that more than one thing can be true at a time.
Yeah.
And that's huge when it comes to like navigating your own mental space, is understanding that you're not one thing or another. You are a makeup of many different characteristics
Yeah.
and traits and beliefs and
I'm glad we got to this because this came into my head when we were in the room, but I didn't
Yeah.
write it down and I forgot.
Ah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, it's not like that one time when I was a kid, I stole a lollipop from a gas station and I am now the worst person to ever exist. Even though it's offset by like those orphans you saved
Yeah.
or like all the money you gave to an actual charity that used the
Yeah.
money correctly, or the time you saved your friend. Like, you could do all the good in the world, but you're
Right.
still going to hang on to the one negative.
Yes. Well, and that's scorekeeping.
That's not how it works.
And that's how my brain was built. I remember having this conversation with our sister and her husband.
Mhm.
And by the end, she was like, oh my God, I married my sister. Because I was talking about the like weird scorekeeping that was happening. And this
Yeah.
was years ago before I had done any work. But it was that like you had to have enough good things to remove like one
bad thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then if you messed up, all the good things went away. And you were back to like trying to undo the bad ones through the
And
good things.
the bad would always pile up, but the good
Yeah.
could never catch up.
Exactly, because it was wiped out by the one bad.
Mhm.
And it's not fair.
No.
It's not a nice way to treat yourself.
And it's
you are
not how
much
people
more than
perceive
that.
you, though.
Yeah.
Because you have to this is something people struggle with, I think, as a whole, is applying their thought process, or maybe applying it too much to other people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because they assume that you think the same way because
Right.
it's their experience. They
Mhm.
assume people are like them.
Yeah.
They don't understand that everyone thinks differently. So like
Yeah.
to me, I could get like in a fist fight with somebody and be like cool with them the next day and be fine.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't give a crap. Like
Right.
that was just emotions. That was a moment.
Yeah.
It's
a moment in time. Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal,
Right.
you know?
Well, and that's the thing, is like being able to reframe everything and being able to look at people and understand that they are just as complex and living just as complex lives with just as complex emotions as we are at any given time. And that in and of itself like helps you to shift your thinking to a more gracious and forgiving lens, right? Like it's like, well, they were a jerk to me, but I understand where they were coming from.
Okay.
Because these were the factors. Or it's like, oh, I understand feeling like that. I felt like that before, and blah, 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 blah. And that's using your empathy within other humans.
No, we were going to get into the how to,
Yeah.
like how to start being more, and it occurs to me that there are two ways that you approach it, because there are like two main modes of how you see the world, right?
Yeah.
Introspective, or what's the other one? Brain.
Retros?
Not retro, but like,
like
intro or
extroverted.
extroverted.
I know what you mean.
You know what I
but
mean.
yeah, the in and
like
the
some
out.
people can, it's easier for them to compliment someone else than to compliment themselves. So maybe you start there,
right,
and build slowly on that,
Mhm.
and then start thinking about how you're a good person too. Like you can apply what you're saying to people to yourself.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
alternatively, if you're someone who's it's easier to compliment yourself,
Mhm.
think about things that you do that make you happy with yourself, and see if someone else is doing something similar, and you can apply that to them too, and let them know.
Right.
Like little baby steps.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're just going to be like, I'm fine, you're fine, everything's great now.
Right.
I've learned to be gracious. Gracious.
It absolutely is like you have to trick your brain in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you have to like set new pathways and then reinforce those pathways
Over and
through
over.
practice, because your brain is a lazy bitch and she will try to take the shortcut of negative, unhelpful thinking styles.
Yeah.
Because that's what you know and you've reinforced for so long. So
And quick pro tip. This occurs to me because I'm having this problem with my daughter, kind of.
Huh.
If you speak sarcasm and you're trying to practice being extroverted and letting people know how you feel about them, make sure you're not using your sarcastic voice.
that's not helpful.
Because she'll say really nice things to me, but she'll say it accidentally sarcastic.
Oh, and then you're like,
I'm
my
like, why would you say that?
hurt.
And she's like, what? I just said the thing.
Like, but your
the way you
tone.
said it.
Mind your tone.
And then she's like, I'm a teenager. I have to do it that way. Like, no, you don't. But
well, and that's part of like that Q-tip practice, right?
yeah, quit taking it personally.
Of like, don't take other people personally, because you're not the one person the world is revolving around, and all of those people are going through just as much, if not more, or
Right.
less, or whatever it is. But understanding that people are people, but then once you understand that people are people, you can look at yourself and go, oh my gosh, I'm a people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can start to treat yourself with the same kind of love and acceptance and tolerance and forgiveness that you treat other people with.
Mhm.
And work through that. Yeah.
And it's not always going to be easy to be grateful to people sometimes. Like some people you'll be grateful for or to, and they'll say something really mean back. Like we were just talking about the way you perceive things.
Yeah.
You're shifting your view to be more extroverted, to think about other people as independent beings.
Yeah.
Some people aren't there yet, right? They're still, I'm the main character. Life is mine.
Right.
And if you go to someone like that and you're like, oh man, I appreciate you helping me and being in my life, they're like, well, duh.
Yeah.
It's like, just
then
understand
you
that they're
are
not where
shut-
you're at.
Yeah. Right.
It's not, it's Q-tip.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
That's a them thing.
Right.
And if you can do that, I mean, that helps you be more grateful in a way that,
Well, and then that's the thing is like learning all of these like metacognition not necessarily like techniques, but like thoughts, like things that you can explore within yourself and think about your own thinking. Again, like you're going to lead back to the gratitude of having done that work and being able to say like, I have all of these really cool, interesting skills that serve me in so many ways because I'm able to be like self-reflective and use that metacognition and then apply it to the outside world as well as the inside world.
yeah. I was literally going to say the same thing you just said.
Sorry.
No.
To the word.
I got there in a different way. So I was going to say it, but then I was listening to what you say. Like, that's the same thing. I don't want to mansplain what she said.
I want to know how you got there though. Like what's the pathways are just interesting.
So understanding that people think differently, something we struggled with because me and you can read people.
Yeah.
And so we make assumptions about what they're thinking and what they're going to.
We're like, oh, they can read me because I can read you.
Right.
No.
And not even that. Even just like in like Jen does not think the way I do because she's autistic and feelings are difficult, and she doesn't even have a voice in her head. She has to conceptualize
Husband,
things and then convert it to word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
He can appreciate that very much, huh?
Yeah.
He's nodding away back
But
there.
like, without knowing that and assuming, even though you're thinking that, oh, this person's independent, they think differently, but you're still applying your thinking to it without
you're
knowing.
gonna get your feelings hurt
Very much. Because
you're going into it with an expectation of their response and their behavior.
exactly. So the idea being then that once you can understand that people think differently, like fundamentally different,
Yes.
like literally not similarly, but different thoughts,
Right.
just fundamentally are differently wired than you.
Yes.
It's easier for you to Q-tip,
Right.
first off, and
Yeah.
then it's easier for you to express yourself and not be offended or hurt.
Absolutely. Well, and being able to express yourself without it being weighted by their response.
Exactly.
You know that
that's
thing where like
that's where I was gonna end
you'll
up. That was
say
it,
a thing and you're expecting something, and if you don't receive it, you're crushed.
Mhm.
You're crushed. But their brain doesn't work like your brain.
Right.
And so setting them up for failure, which is essentially what we
you're
do
doing, yeah.
when we walk into a situation where like I expect people to think and feel and express the same way that I do.
Mhm.
And then I'm giving out all of this love and receiving nothing back. Like, you're going to be crushed. Go into it without expectation for other people because they are different from
Right.
you.
I guess that's part of like becoming comfortable with being yourself and not following social norms is
Yeah.
accepting that people are also capable of doing that,
Mhm.
and that you have to embrace it. Just
Right.
embrace the chaos.
Mhm.
That everyone's
Absolutely.
different.
Everybody's different. And well, and it's something that, again, we can be grateful for because it helps us to expand our own thinking and our own viewpoints of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And even your like core beliefs
Yeah.
may change through what you learn from people who think differently.
Yeah. What do you feel about those? What am I thinking of? Mindfulness exercises where you like pick 5 things you're grateful for. Because to me, that seems more of like a distraction than an actually being.
I don't like them because I don't feel they go deep enough.
Yeah.
Like it's super superficial, and
That's
it's
why I
like
think it's
make a
more of like
list
a-
and you're like, I'm glad that I have a house and water and food and TV and my phone.
right.
And you're like, that's not,
exactly.
you just
It's-
listed stuff you
that's
had
why
that you
I feel
don't
like
want to
it's just-
not have.
That's why I feel like it's just a distraction tactic, right?
Yeah.
It's like take your mind off of it and think about something, and then
Right.
now you're not in it. You're
Yeah.
not taking the
No,
time
you
to be
need that
grateful.
metacognition. That metacognition is huge. You
Yeah.
have to go through, I guess, the activation of the actual emotion, right?
Mhm.
Like, and you can't activate it by making a list.
Exactly.
You're not gonna like find your emotions in a list.
Mm-mm.
I mean, maybe you will. Your brain might work differently. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
superficial and it's not deep enough, and it's not teaching people the actual practice of it. I
Mhm.
don't think they're
No.
not teaching it a way to apply it broadhand. It's just a like make a list and then you did your mindfulness for the day,
Right.
which is not. It's a good place to start. But now I want you to
That's-
look at that list.
I was
and then
gonna
go
say
deeper.
explore it.
Yeah.
Do 5 things that you're grateful for,
Mhm.
and understand why that's important to you,
Right.
and then understand that maybe that's not the thing you should be grateful for too,
Exactly.
and
Like,
that maybe
is
that's
it-
not worth
Is
it.
it really something that makes you grateful, or is it something that you're like out of convenience?
Exactly.
Because it's different. It's different to be like, well, I wouldn't want to not have it, instead of like, I am truly grateful for and cherish this
Right.
thing,
Exactly.
or this idea, or this thought, or this person, or this dog, or cat, or
Mm-hmm.
fish. I don't know, whatever you've got in your life. But there's always
Pet moms and dads.
Yeah, there's always that something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It popped into my head. I was like,
No,
I
I
don't
like it. It's a.
like they're shallow. Is this the
It
gist?
is,
But
and I hadn't thought about it in the context of this conversation. But
Right,
I
right.
don't like them.
it's a distraction tactic.
Yeah.
When it's used that way,
Mhm.
at least, because
Well,
that's
'cause
part of like
it's like a first aid move.
right.
It's not a preventative.
Yeah, you're not going to the doctor and getting work done.
Right.
You're just not bleeding out anymore.
Yeah.
How about you take care of yourself all the way?
Right. Finish the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that was actually so much deeper than I thought we were gonna go, and I actually am really happy with that. There was a lot attached to that, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was reflecting on it just because my kids, man, my children being truly lovely and wonderful people, and them having gratitude for the things that I did for them, that like, you don't think about it as like, oh, I did that for you. It's not a favor.
Right.
But it's truly relational.
Yeah.
And that's huge to me. Makes a really big difference. So if you're one of my kiddos, I truly love and appreciate you guys. And I think you are amazing, fabulous, fascinating, and super intelligent people. And I appreciate you being in my life.
I'd appreciate it if you gave us a like and commented and subscribed, but you don't have to. No
Do
pressure.
that, yeah.
I'll still be grateful for you.
Just maybe if you could
Do those things.
Yeah. And if you found value in this, please give it a share.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe if you have not and you want to
Comment.
see more nonsense. Always comment. You can always reach out to us through the comments, through our Discord. Yeah. Lots of ways to get in contact with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always around, so it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we've cleaned it out, yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Sweet.
I'm content.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys found some value in this. I hope you enjoyed the conversation at least, and maybe it gave you something to think about. Or if you want to argue your point of view, or you have another take on it, we'd love to hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
we don't fight people in the comments. We're not like, you're wrong.
No.
We're like, oh, interesting point of view.
Right.
And then we weigh that into what our experiences know of that, and then see what happens.
Right. Exactly.
It's a collaboration of life. Also, word to the wise, if you're going to share this, don't share it under the pretext of you need to be more grateful.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
They won't appreciate it.
No. Anyways.
Yes, with that, it is time for us to head out. So you guys know the drill, and if you don't, take your meds. Do it now.
Drink water, hydrate, or dihydrate.
Have a snack, because you are a snack.
And then maybe go outside and enjoy some weather.
Yeah.
Sunny,
Whatever it
stormy, snowy, desert is a weather now.
It is a weather.
Also water. Water is a weather.
Oh.
And the moon could be a weather. So just be out there enjoying those things.
Yeah, get you some weather.
Whether you weather, never mind. I'm not gonna do that.
All right, Bo Burnham, calm down.
Yeah, I know. It's like I heard it in my head. I was like, don't say it, don't say it. I started
You just
saying
had to say weather, and then my brain was like, oh no, here we go. All right. It's time to say goodbye. We love you.
We do.
Be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
If you think you're special, you're not.
True.
Whether you're ready or not.
Oh, I love it. That was a really good one.
It was.
I'm happy with that.